Okay, so let's see. Here we go. So forward is forward, up is up, right is right. So it seems to be working. The data is consistent between both hands, including the wrist. So the right is right on the hand, the right is right on this hand, forward is forward. Same for the thumb. So this is my thumb, this would be upwards, this would be right, this would be forward. Same with this one. Upwards, this direction, so this is consistent. Okay. Let's test very basic upgrade of the avatar. This doesn't map the fingers yet, but it maps the hands. So this is actually using the rotational offset for the wrist that comes from the controller relative to the controller itself. So if I switch back to this, I can sort of see where the hold on, where's the headset? Oh, this one destroys it. Oh, there it is. I can sort of see where the controller goes. Okay. So the next step is essentially making system which applies these rotations to the hand itself. And that will be the major thing. And essentially then it's going to be just testing it with the different avatars, polishing it, and adding input drivers, making sure the leap motion driver also works with this. So it feeds the data in the same consistent coordinate system, so it can be used by the system. And also figuring out how to get this finger data from the Oculus Rift touch controllers. And just generally testing it out and seeing how it works with different avatars, making sure it's all working fine. So seems pretty good. Okay. Let's actually check one more thing if this is consistent with the. Actually, switch to this one. Let's check if this is consistent. Hold on, this avatar has stuff in my face. This one doesn't show controllers. Space helmets. Let's just use the space helmet. Checked mirror. Okay, let's equip the space helmet. There we go. So I want to make sure everything's sort of feeding into the system in a consistent coordinate space, because the raw data that actually come from Knuckles controllers, the wrist uses different axis convention, and the fingers use different axis convention, and they use a different one on each hand. Which is sort of made for their sample models, but in Neos I want to make sure everything is fed into the same into like same consistent system, so the systems don't have to like depend on particular conventions of whatever finger tracking solution is being used. So let's just take actually let's open a inspector. Let's look at myself. So this is my head. So up is green, that's correct. Forward is blue, that's correct. And right is that way, which is also correct. Let's look at the left controller. So you can see right is forward, green is upwards, red is right. So this is consistent with the hand itself. So if I consider my hand, the top of my hand is upwards, then from my pinky to my index, that's right. And forward is from my wrist to the fingers, so that's aligned as well. And should be with the right controller. So forward, upwards, right. So and essentially my convention is the top of my hand is upwards. So the palm is essentially going downwards. And right is on the right hand, the right direction is from my index finger to my pinky. And forward is pretty much the same between the both. So this is looking good. So I can now this I'm sure this is consistent. I can move on to the next phase, and that's making it actually move the fingers on the virtual avatar. So see you soon with an update.